is my judging, and my time to judge.
Yes, we're ready.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Joshua Sorensen, and I stand against the resolution. Rescuing great cultural and artistic achievements from theft or destruction is worth risking one's life. Life is often defined in basic biology textbooks in terms of a list of distinctive properties that distinguish living systems from non-living. Although there is some overlap, these lists are often different depending upon the interests of the authors. Each attempt at a definition is inextricably linked to a theory from which it derives its meaning. Some biologists and philosophers even reject the whole idea of there being a need for a definition, since life for them is an irreducible fact about the natural world. Others see life simply as that which biologists study. There have been three main philosophical approaches to the problem of defining life that remain relevant today. Aristotle's view of life as animation, a fundamental, irreducible property of nature. Descartes' view of life as mechanism, and Kant's view of life as organization, to which we need to add Darwin's concept of variation and evolution through natural selection. Source: Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Definition: the negative team accepts the affirmative's definitions. Value. The affirmative's value was the importance of culture, but I propose that finding a purpose for your life be a higher value than the importance of culture. Criterion. My criterion will be the importance, or will be finding the purpose of life versus the importance of art. Contentions. Although the affirmative team stated that people learn from artistic and cultural achievements, and I do not disagree. But I would like to share a powerful quote from Oscar Wilde, a famous Irish poet, playwright, and philosopher. Life imitates art far more than art imitates life. Art and culture is not the only purpose that fulfills our lives fully. Summary. This quote shows that art is a part of life, but it's not more important and cannot be sustained without life, as life in fact does imitate our art. Secondly, the affirmative team stated art is a means of creative expression. And although it is, quote, art is a double-edged sword. It enhances our experiences of life, but it also obstructs and diminishes it. It seems to me that there is a bargain between art and life. To derive most from art, we should keep the trade-offs of that bargain freshly in mind. If you weigh everything we surrender to art in exchange for the good things we receive from it, it is easy to see how art could become the enemy of life. Summary. Art can enhance our experiences in life, but it does more than that. Art is important, but not more than important in the value of life itself. For no one should be risking their life for one to be risking their life because although we receive amazing things from art, we cannot appreciate true art if we don't appreciate life. Source: art critic, or David Apatow, art critic, museum curator, and New York Times illustration scholar. Thirdly, the affirmative team stated cultural identity is found in artistic achievements. And although that is true, quote, the central question of whether art is worth dying for gave me some food for thought. Whilst my answer is an empathetic no, my aversion to glorifying the fight against a malevolent force made me consider the question of who we would be if we did not have a polarity to define ourselves against. If there was nothing to achieve, protect, or prove, would it make a difference to what we are currently applying our efforts to? Source: this is an interesting thought. It shows that everyone strives to find a deeper meaning to life, or a purpose. And many would say that art is a part of life, and it should be our purpose. But that does not mean it's the right purpose, or our only purpose. God should always remain the purpose of our lives. Source: Mia Luch, philosopher. In conclusion, I urge the judges to reject the resolution rescuing great cultural and artistic achievements from theft or destruction is worth risking one's life. Thank you. And now stand ready for cross-examination.
the judges ready?
Yes.
And the timer?
Yes.
So you gave several different examples of definitions of life in your speech, correct? Examples by Aristotle, Kant.
Yes.
Okay, so how did you define life?
I accepted your definition of that.
Okay, thank you. So you're saying your value is having a purpose for life, correct?
Yes.
How do you propose to find a purpose for life?
There is several different purposes for life, and I propose that each person should find a purpose for life. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Your value is that we find a purpose for life. So how do we find a purpose for life? How do we uphold your value?
We uphold my value by making life the highest value, and each person should find their own purpose.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned that art, quote, obstructs and diminishes life, and also it becomes the enemy of life. Do you have examples of that? Or what caused you to say that?
I said it can, but I do not have any examples.
Okay. And for your third point, what is the source of your quote?
Mia Luch, and she's a philosopher, and yeah.
Thank you. I have no further questions.